Rossi. That was the chant going out. What can Valentino Rossi do then in this 15-minute Q2 session? Rapturous reception for the Doctor as he heads out onto circuit. Hard front tyre, soft rear tyre. Now we've just seen Pol Espargaro and Taka Nakagami advance out of Q1, and Simon Craven's got a little bit of information on the KTM, man. Over to you, Simon.
Yeah, with their mechanics, both of those riders had another stressful session because they've had to do it between FP4 and Q1, and now Q1 and Q2 again. And watching Pol Espargaro's mechanics, they not only had to put tyres on, they had to bleed his front brakes, and which is obviously a complaint from him, too much lever movement. But they got him straight back out there as soon as the lights turned green.
Thanks for that, Simon. So then, the session starts. I'll get by with a little help from my friend, says Jorge Lorenzo. Well, they're friends for now, the two Repsol Honda teammates.
Yes. Wonder how long that will go on for when Jorge Lorenzo starts firing on all cylinders. On board then with Marc Marquez.
I can't wait for that, by the way. I cannot wait for a fully fit Jorge Lorenzo to be rattling some cages out there.
Well, thankfully, we won't have to wait too long. He reckons his best estimate is the Spanish Grand Prix in Jerez. Marc Marquez getting a little bit loose, a little bit twitchy on the curves coming out of the final corner. So this is Marquez and Lorenzo on their first flying laps of this Q2 session.
Just look at the completely different riding styles here of the two Repsol Honda riders.
Well, they talked about this in Qatar, didn't they? Of course, that now they are teammates. They've been able to compare data, overlay each other's information, and both of them said it is literally like night and day. They are chalk and cheese.
Sweeping lines of Jorge Lorenzo, the elbow on the deck, spinning up the rear tyre from Marc Marquez. Lorenzo at the moment trying to stay in touch with the world champion, number 93. The fastest lap we've seen so far, sorry Matt, is a 38.471. Will we see a 37?
You wouldn't put it past Marc Marquez. You certainly wouldn't put it past Cal Crutchlow, the form that he's been displaying so far. There's over the line, 1:38.767, immediately over half a second clear of his teammate Lorenzo.
It's not his best effort so far, and he goes wide into turn one, so that's his first effort. No one else looks like they're going to quite match that. Jack Miller's not far away. In fact, Viñales is not far behind in sector one as well.
At the moment there on the front end as well for Cal Crutchlow. Marquez rolling out of it so quickly, Steve. Is he going for a two-stopper maybe? It's a short lap here in Argentina. Just over 90 seconds. You could easily do a two-stop strategy.
Could well be, couldn't he? Could well be. Jack Miller then goes into second place. Good lap from the Australian, 39 flat. Petrucci, a 39.1. That's much more like it. His teammate Dovizioso 1 place behind.
You know what tomorrow may well bring? Some pretty gloomy forecasts around for thunderstorms and rain. Well, who is a phenomenal wet weather rider? None other than Danilo Petrucci. If he can get himself a decent qualifying spot and the heavens open tomorrow, given his form over the last couple of years in rain conditions, the top three men in rain conditions over the last couple of years, head and shoulders above everybody, have been Marquez, Dovizioso and Petrucci. Petrucci can finish on that front row and it's wet tomorrow. He'll fancy a stab at breaking his victory duck in MotoGP.
Certainly will. This is a good lap from Cal Crutchlow. He has been brilliant so far this weekend.
Just try and get temperature the tyre, then he'll probably get one more lap at it, so...
Well, here we go. In our 5 previous visits to Termas de Rio Hondo, Marc Marquez has been on pole for 4 of them. Can he make it? Pole number 5 in Termas, although he was really, really pushing, and in the end, got it a bit wrong into turn 1.
Deary me. You could see that front tyre. It was almost screaming for mercy, wasn't it? How hard was he on that front end going into the first corner, Marc Marquez?
You're right, Matt, and what often happens when you put a new rear tyre on, because you get such good drive out of the turn before, you brake at the same position and you can't stop,
And man who looks to make it 5 poles in Argentina.
Well, at the end of practice this morning, it was a Marquez, Miller, Crutchlow top 3. It's Marquez, Crutchlow, Miller top 3 right now. This is in the pit lane. good job that Marc Marquez and Valentino Rossi both had their wits about them.
A few tactics going on here. Valentino Rossi was keen there to get a good look at Jack Miller, and for good reason. Miller has got the better speed, certainly over one lap, than Valentino Rossi. Rossi's crew look on. Just under 4 minutes remain here in the qualifying session to determine who will be on pole for the Grand Prix of Argentina here tomorrow.
Rossi yesterday, Steve, was really happy with his race pace. He said compared to Marquez, he was perhaps a tenth or two further back, but he knows that it was all about qualifying. Now, if Rossi can find himself on that second row, he will fancy himself of getting away and being a main protagonist tomorrow. A lot less work to do from 4th and 11th, that's for sure, like he did in Qatar.
This is a good lap coming in from Fabio Quartararo. There's no orange sectors, but he's only a 10th down in sector 2. He's just trying to get the claws into Jorge Lorenzo, who's a bit further up the road at the moment. I bet he didn't imagine that he'd be saying that, or we'd be saying that, at the start of last season when he started in Moto 2. And he's found some time there as well in sector 3. Estimated position 5 again for Fabio Quartararo. He could nudge Danilo Petrucci off the second row here.
Yeah, and you can bet your bottom dollar that he will not be stalling it at the start of the warm-up lap yet again. That's a harsh lesson learned for Fabio Quartararo.
Right, he's gone second.
That's unbelievable.
But look at the time screens, Matt. Dovizioso, Maverick Vinales, Morbidelli, Valentino Rossi, Crutchlow, they're all up by a handsome margin in sector 1.
Right now, Fabio Quartararo's got himself on the front row of the grid. In about a minute's time, he might not even be on the second row.
It's going to be all eyes on Marquez as well. Yeah, he's gone up in sector 1. No surprise there. Maverick Vinales is up by 2/10 in second sector. It's all about to kick off here in Argentina.
Well, Maverick Vinales, of course, trying to get pole position for the 3rd race in a row. He did it in Valencia to end 2018. And Jack Miller, well, everything's kicking off now here in Argentina. Dovizioso, Miller, Vinales, Morbidelli we're looking at right now. We're now back on board with Maverick Vinales. There are any one of about half a dozen riders here that are on laps that could put them in pole position.
The Pramac Ducati guys have just come running over to catch Miller coming across the line. Vinales goes pole, 38.4. Rossi goes second. It won't last though. Miller does, he loses it all. He's lost it all. He's lost half a second.
Dovizioso goes now into second place. Fabio Quartararo, what did we say? 10 seconds ago, he was on the front row of the grid. Now he's not even on the second row. 7th place at the moment for Quartararo. Crutchlow in 8th.
That's it for Dovi. He won't have any more part to play. Now, Marc Marquez. This is it. Can he do it? He's so good in this final sector normally. Over the line, a bit of a wobble. Across the line now. Marc Marquez, he does it. A 38.304.
There's work to do for Cal Crutchlow as well. He's not on a good lap at the moment, Crutchlow. He's been pushed all the way back down to 8th place. Behind the likes of Quartararo, Morbidelli, Miller, Rossi and Dovizioso. Marc Marquez then back in pole position with a 1:38.304, a 10th.5 clear of Maverick Vinales.
I think Crutchlow's the only other rider that would have anything to offer here. Everybody else has slowed down. We've seen the best of everything. That's it. No one else has got a response.
The problem was as well, 1 year ago, he's going to be, at best, middle of the 3rd row.
Well, that's it. That's your lot. I can't see anything changing anywhere else. No, nobody's close enough. Danilo Petrucci moves up 1 spot to 10th. He'll be disappointed with that. Cal Crutchlow will be mortified qualifying in 8th place here today, but Marc Marquez has done it again.
Did not see Cal Crutchlow finishing 6.5 tenths behind the pole setter in this session. Every time we've picked up Cal Crutchlow, Steve, there's been a mistake. He has not got a clean lap in as Marc Marquez just about keeps it curbside here in Argentina. He's taken the checkered flag and he's taken yet another pole position. He's right in front of his packed grandstand, the 93 grandstand there at the first corner. Late charge coming in here from Taka Nakagami, although he's not going to be troubling the top 6 as well.
Wow. No surprise to see the man on pole. Maverick Vinales is a surprise to see him second. He's not been in the top 2 of many sessions here this weekend. Dovizioso, that's a great recovery after the crash earlier on this morning. Valentino Rossi, I think he'll be delighted, like you mentioned earlier, with 4th place on the grid. He can do some work from there. Jack Miller, 2nd row. Franco Morbidelli, we should mention as well. He's on the 2nd row for tomorrow.
Old talent in the 125cc race in Shah Alam.
And we all know, Matt, that when he's within those front 3 rows, he can always do damage on a Sunday. Where he was in Qatar, I mean, that was brilliant what he managed to do in the end, finishing in 5th place. But from 4th, you know what? He sneaks into my podium contenders now.
You know what, Steve? Boy, is he long overdue a podium. 10 races now since the Sachsenring in Germany, since we saw Rossi in Parc Ferme on a Sunday afternoon. His most, well, it's his worst ever run when he's been on a factory Yamaha. This man will be happy. Andrea Dovizioso on the front row in Argentina, and he's with Simon in Parc Ferme.
Every time this year that it really matters, you are there.
At the moment, yes. Yes, I'm so happy. The speed is there. We improve practice by practice. Also, after the crash this morning, the feeling is good. So, really happy. Really good lap time without a perfect lap. So, really happy to start in the first row because tomorrow looks like the condition will be different. We will see. The race, it will be strange like always in Argentina and with the weather, but we have a good speed to fight for the podium.
Thank you.
Andrea Dovizioso has never won 3 Grand Prix races on the trot, and Ducati have never won the first 2 races of the year. Stranger things have happened in MotoGP. Never say never. He's going to have his work cut out, though. He knows that Marc Marquez has got great race pace, and as he said there, we've got the speed to